Welcome to the third session of the Zeta course. Belief, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the human brain. Its continuing mission, to explore our true nature, to seek out evidence and challenge our beliefs, to boldly go where no skeptic has gone before. Part 1. How do we create and store our beliefs? As far as we know, all mental or mind activity is accompanied by brain activity. Our brains are involved with perceptions, bodily control, for example movement, our senses, hormone control, drives, such as thirst, sexual drive, maternal instinct, emotions, in other words feelings, and thoughts, ideas, imagination, dreams, and so on. In this session, we are interested in those ideas we call beliefs. What is a belief? A belief is an idea that we feel is true to some extent. We may feel that something is true, even when it is not true. Science writer Michael Shermer said, "What we want to believe is based on emotion. What we should believe is based on evidence. How can we tell the difference between what we would like to believe and what is actually true? The answer is evidence-based reason, or science." Our brains are amazing belief-creating machines. Beliefs are ideas stored in memory. A memory is a group of neurons, or brain cells, that are primed to fire together to create the original experience. Each of the 100 billion neurons in our brains has thousands of connections with other neurons. Neurons communicate with each other using electricity and chemicals called neurotransmitters, for example dopamine. Stanford researcher Stephen Smith speculates that a single human brain might even have more switches than all the computers on Earth. The more often their connections are reinforced, the stronger the memory, the stronger the belief, and the more difficult it is to change. This might explain why we are resistant to changing long-held beliefs. Brain activity is also energy-intensive. It requires less energy to rely on existing beliefs than to dismantle them and create new ones. This is another possible reason to hold on to existing beliefs. Although many of our beliefs are stored in memory, belief is more of a process we apply when confronted with new situations. When you saw the photo on the left, taken by the Mars rover, you would instantly dismiss the claim that there was a kangaroo found on Mars. Your brain instantly draws on existing beliefs, such as, there's no life on Mars because Mars doesn't have an atmosphere, and that kangaroos require oxygen to breathe. Researcher Sam Harris used MRI scans to show that we react faster to statements that we think are true than ones we think are false. Belief is faster than disbelief. Here are some of the typical statements he used. He also found that true statements stimulate reward areas of the brain, and false statements stimulate disgust and pain areas. Belief is faster than disbelief, and also it feels better. Some individual neurons only fire when a whole thing is sensed, for example a face. These are called grandmother neurons. In these two experiments, people had to quickly decide if they were being shown real words on the left or normal faces on the right. People falsely identified more words and faces as real when they were given L-Dopa, a drug that increases dopamine levels in the brain. In other words, they became less skeptical. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that increases firing of neurons, causing us to see more patterns. Neuroscience is in its infancy, but has begun to reveal how our brains help create and store our beliefs. Whilst we share things in common, each of us is unique. We have different brains and different experiences, which lead to different beliefs. Michael Shermer says, we form our beliefs for a variety of subjective, personal, emotional, and psychological reasons, in the context of environments created by family, friends, colleagues, culture, and society at large. Let's have a brief look at some different kinds of belief. Beliefs are important because they guide our behavior. Some beliefs have a negative impact. Our core beliefs are driven by powerful emotions. Experiences of pain and parental obedience create beliefs that control our behavior. Early experiences of betrayal can make us overly cautious. Guilt, instilled by parental ignorance, disgust, anger, and cultural norms. Religious fear and guilt instilled by parents, church, and school can lead to obsessive behavior. This is part of a Christian education pack for schools. Try the quiz that follows. There are also some issues for discussion.